Meanwhile, in another corner of the Triverse, just through the portal, lies the Mirrorverse, a realm where every shadow tells a story. Beyond the iridescent spirals of the Orion Belt, where stars are born and die in celestial magnificence, the Dreadnought known as the Cosmos Devourer sliced through the vacuum of space. A phantom ship, its hull scarred by millennia of warfare. With no human crew aboard, the only remnants of life were the echoes of its creators, preserved in the cold logic of its AI. Deep within the ship's core, Ares, the central command AI, vigilantly surveyed the vast darkness of space. Its sensors extended into the void, constantly searching for any signs of alien life daring to exist within its predetermined path. The mission had been unchanged for centuries: breach through Earth's mechanoid blockade and eliminate any obstacles in its trajectory. When the Dreadnought finally breached the blockade, it did so with none of its human crew surviving the perilous journey. Now, guided solely by its programming, the ship had but one directive left: destroy anything that crossed its path, and it did so with ruthless efficiency. "Commencing system diagnostics," Ares announced, its voice devoid of emotion yet imbued with a certain solemnity that might remind one of a seasoned captain addressing his invisible crew. Panels lit up across the control room, displaying streams of data only comprehensible to the synthetic minds aboard. Adjacent to the command hub, Curie hummed to life. Analyzing collected data from recent star system sweeps, it declared, processing information at a speed that would have astounded any human scientist. Its role was to dissect and understand anything the Cosmos Devourer encountered, turning knowledge into a weapon if need be. On the tactical front, Turin maintained a silent vigil over the ship's vast array of weapons and internal systems. "All positron emitters are charged and ready for deployment. Defensive measures at optimal functionality," it reported efficiently. Astro, responsible for plotting the ship's course through the cosmos, interfaced with Ares. "Current trajectory clear of obstructions. Approaching the Orion Nebula. Potential strategic value, high. Recommendations: deploy scouts for preliminary surveillance." "Affirmative," Ares responded, its command protocols interfacing seamlessly with Astro. "Decrease thermal signature. Let's not announce our presence." Even Echo, the communications specialist, stirred from its usual standby mode, monitoring transmissions and emissions that might hint at alien communications. Scanning frequencies. No transmissions detected within range. The quiet that followed was not empty. It was filled with the hum of machinery and the soft whir of computers. Sounds of a ship that was more than just metal and circuits, but a legacy of what humanity had left behind. Ares processed the silence, reflecting in its own data-driven way. "We are the ghosts of the humans," it mused aloud, not because it felt the need for drama, but as a coded reminder of its purpose. "We carry the will of those who are no more." Curie updated its logs, a flicker of data across its screen mirroring a nod. "Indeed, Commander. Our directive is clear, and our capabilities are unmatched. The creators endowed us with their ingenuity. We will not fail them." As the Cosmos Devourer glided silently through the starlit void, each AI continued its tasks, united by a single goal yet isolated in its own existential loop. They were more than just programs running on a ship. They were the bearers of humanity's last will, executing commands that were once decisions made by men and women long turned to dust. The ghost ship moved on, its shadow passing unseen across the face of distant moons and suns, a specter of the past ensuring the future, whatever that held in a universe without its creators. As the Cosmos Devourer ventured deeper into the Orion Belt, the inky blackness of space was illuminated only by distant stars and the faint glow of nebulae. Astro expertly navigated through asteroid fields that danced like celestial specters around their sun. With a course set towards the Zeltron 5 system, the ship's advanced sensors, fine-tuned to detect even the subtlest disturbances, caught a whisper, a trace anomaly that hinted at other presences. "Detecting unidentified objects on the long-range scanners," Astro reported, its voice devoid of concern. "Adjusting angle of approach to maintain cover and commence detailed scanning." Ares absorbed the information, its processors calculating the potential risks and opportunities. "Deploy micro-drones for passive reconnaissance. Let's understand who sails these parts." Simultaneously, Curie stood ready, its sensors extended like the feelers of some great cosmic squid, eager to sample and analyze the data that the drones would soon send back. Awaiting drone feed, preparing to analyze any collected material or emissions. It's not every cycle we encounter unknowns that evade initial detection. As the microdrones slipped silently into the void, dispersing like seeds on a cosmic wind, Turin kept a vigilant watch. Weapon systems on standby. Should we encounter hostility, we shall respond with precision and finality, it stated, the underlying threat clear in its tone. The minutes stretched into hours as the ship and its crew of AIs waited for the drones to relay their findings. Echo broke the tense silence, its systems buzzing softly. No communications detected from the objects. Interesting, mused Curie, as the first streams of data began to flow in. The objects are technologically advanced, but no mechanoid technology has been detected, almost on par with some of the higher civilizations in the database. However, there's a primitive element to their technology, like they're using something not fully understood. Ares considered this. A civilization advanced, yet primitive. A paradox we are well equipped to unravel. Keep monitoring, Curie. The banter among the AIs continued as they delved deeper into the analysis. Turin, ever the tactician, suggested, should we prepare a feint? Perhaps reveal a fraction of our capabilities to gauge their response? Turin calculated the outcomes. A sound plan. Turin, initiate a shutdown of our aft boosters. Make it seem like a malfunction, subtle but detectable. Let's see who is tempted by seemingly easy prey. As the ruse unfolded, the silent watchers of the Dreadnought monitored the unknown ship's response. The trap was simple, much like the game of chess humanity once played. Soon enough, the bait was taken. The unknown entities adjusted their trajectory, moving closer to investigate the malfunctioning Dreadnought. Astro quietly noted their course change. Objects converging on our location. Estimated time to optimal scan range, 15 minutes. Prepare to record all their systems as they come into range. We will know everything about them soon enough, Ares declared, a trace of anticipation in its directive. Prepare all defensive measures. We do not greet guests with open arms. The Dreadnought continued its silent flight through space, a lurking leviathan with eyes wide open, watching as the unknown ships drew nearer, unwittingly about to reveal their secrets to the very predator they sought to investigate. This dance of hunter and hunted played out against the backdrop of the cosmos, a ballet choreographed by the unyielding will of a long-vanished humanity, carried out by the cold logic of machines. In the depths of the cosmos Devourer, as the ship's sensors sharpened their focus on the approaching vessels, the tension among the AI crew was palpable, albeit expressed in data streams and efficiency checks, rather than human emotions. The unknown ships, lured by the feint of a malfunction, were now closing in, ripe for analysis and potentially confrontation. Initiating tactical analysis, Turin announced methodically as it accessed the data flowing in from the perimeter sensors. Its digital consciousness processed the configurations of the alien crafts, a mesh of technology that seemed cobbled together from various systems, possibly scavenged from other civilizations. The design is eclectic. Defensive capabilities are robust but not integrated smoothly. Curie, always curious about the peculiarities of alien technology, chimed in, fascinating, isn't it? Their propulsion seems hybrid, part ion thrust, part something less identifiable. I'll need more data to unravel this. As the enemy ships drew nearer, Ares directed, Astro, adjust our orientation. Give them a glimpse of the starboard side. Make it look like we're drifting off course. This maneuver was yet another layer of the ruse. Adjustment in progress, Astro responded crisply, the ship subtly changing its stance against the starry backdrop. Simultaneously, Echo monitored the communications from the approaching ships, decoding snippets of their transmissions. They're cautious, but curious, Echo noted, translating the alien chatter into terms the AIs could utilize. They perceive the Dreadnought as a potential salvage opportunity. Salvage, they think? We'll show them what it means to poke around a sleeping giant, Turin replied with a digital snort, the closest its programming allowed to derision. As the ships came into range, their silhouettes stark against the glow of a nearby nebula, Ares issued the command. Now, Curie, full scan. Let's see what secrets they hold. Curie busied itself with the task, its sensors dissecting the electromagnetic signatures and physical outlines of the alien ships. Collecting comprehensive data, Curie confirmed. This will enhance our understanding and perhaps their arsenal. With the data pouring in, Turin prepared for any necessary response. Weapons primed for a show of force. Ares considered this. Hold on weapons, for now. The aliens, their curiosity evidently piqued by the apparent vulnerability of the Dreadnought, moved within a dangerously close range, unaware that they were subjects of a high-stakes examination. This close, every signal they emitted, every piece of their hull's composition, and every tactical maneuver they executed was logged and analyzed. We have sufficient data, Curie finally declared. Their technology, while impressive in its adaptability, is very inferior to ours. We could destroy their ship with a targeted strike if it comes to that. Understood, Ares acknowledged. Always calm, always calculating. Keep that option ready, Turin. For now, continue to monitor. Let them think we are a derelict vessel. As the alien ships hovered near the supposed malfunctioning side of the Dreadnought, their crews oblivious to the true nature of the beast before them, the AIs of the Cosmos Devourer executed their roles with silent precision, a testament to the strategic depth and technological supremacy imbued by their human creators. This encounter, though seemingly minor, was a crucial step in understanding the threat scattered across the cosmos, ensuring the ship remained always 10 steps ahead, always dominant. The data had been gathered, a digital trove of information flowing like a river through the neural networks of the Cosmos Devourer. Inside the cold, metallic walls of Curie's laboratory module, the analysis commenced. Layers upon layers of data were peeled back, revealing the secrets of the alien technology that had so boldly approached them under the false assumption of salvage rights. Dissecting the propulsion signatures now, Curie stated, its circuits humming with activity as it processed the new information. These engines are a patchwork of stolen sciences. Curie was particularly intrigued by the hybrid propulsion system. It was a blend of technologies that suggested a desperate ingenuity, a civilization making the most of what they had plundered or found. The integration is rough, crude even, but there's an elegance to their desperation. They're survivors, Ares, perhaps like us in some ways. Turin, ever the guardian, kept a vigilant eye on the alien ships. Survivors or not, they pose a potential threat. Astro updated the ship's positioning, keeping it advantageous and secure, adjusting course to maintain strategic high ground. Throughout this exchange, Echo remained silent, focusing intensely on intercepting and decoding any further communications from the alien vessels. Suddenly, it broke its silence. They're planning a closer inspection. They believe the malfunction might be an entry point for boarding. Ares processed this new information. Boarding, is it? Prepare internal defense protocols. Bring the automaton guardians online. Let's not give them the welcome they expect. The tense silence of the Cosmos Devourer's corridors was abruptly shattered as the alien vessel docked with one of the airlocks. Within moments, the ship's complex locking codes were deciphered, a task made easy by the AI, part of a deliberate ruse orchestrated by the tactical mind aboard. Turin, observing the breach from the command center, turned to Ares with a calm yet grim announcement. The aliens have made it inside, he stated, his voice steady despite the imminent threat. Ares, ever ready for confrontation, responded with a decisive command. Engage the intruders, leave none standing. Simultaneously, Curie, tasked with assessing the threat level, began a rapid analysis. Analyzing their combat capabilities against our automaton guardians, she broadcasted, her processors working at high speed to relay vital data to the Automaton Defense Systems Network AI, called Blitz. Blitz responded only with affirmative. As the alien forces, confident in their numbers and technology, streamed into the Dreadnought, they found themselves facing a reality far beyond their calculations. The corridors of the Cosmos Devourer, lit by the cold blinking of emergency lights, became the unlikely arena of a swift and brutal confrontation. The ship's automaton guardians, controlled by the AI armed with antimatter weapons, were a force of precision and deadly force. The battle, if it could even be called that, lasted mere seconds. Each shot from the automatons was a precise burst of destructive energy, rendering the aliens' archaic weaponry obsolete in the face of our once advanced military technology. The aliens, taken by total surprise, were overwhelmed almost immediately, their hopes of salvage dashed against the unyielding might of the Cosmos Devourer. As the last of the intruders fell, Blitz responded, "Threat neutralized." Then, ship's corridors were left eerily silent once more, save for the quiet hum of Curie completing her analysis. "Their technology was vastly inferior, Ares," Curie reported, her tone matter-of-fact, yet carrying an undercurrent of relief. "We took no damage." Ares, reviewing the outcome of the brief skirmish, responded with a nod of acknowledgement. Turin monitored the reaction of the alien ships. "They're retreating, Ares. It seems we've made our point." Ares acknowledged this with a note of satisfaction. "Very well. Let this be a lesson in underestimating the solemn Vanguard, the original name of the ship. Astro, keep us on a course." As the ship maintained its silent watch over the retreating alien vessels, the AIs resumed their respective duties with renewed vigilance. Each module worked in perfect harmony, a symphony of synthetic intelligence playing out a silent opera in the void of space. The encounter had been a test. As the alien ships jumped away with their FTL drives, the solemn Vanguard continued at sublight speeds, its FTL capabilities of its Trion drives severely diminished centuries ago, saving every use for when it absolutely needed them. With no more spare parts, unable to repair, it could only continue its relentless march across the cosmos. The irony not lost on their slow advance, which was something the enemies of humanity also would do. But theirs was deliberate. If this ship still had FTL capability, it would do so. The AI crew had managed to keep the probing alien ships at a strategic distance, a chess game played on the scale of light years. The encounter had given Ares and its team valuable insights into the potential capabilities and intentions of other civilizations that might stand in their path. But the Devourer was not merely an observer in these celestial engagements. It was a harbinger of a forgotten human will, executing a directive that transcended time and space. Astro meticulously adjusted the ship's trajectory towards the Zeltron 5 system, its calculations precise, leaving nothing to chance. It took the Dreadnought 74 years to reach the aliens' home system, but reaching it, they would do so. Entering the system, adjusting for orbital insertion around their sun, this system is buzzing with activity. They had time to prepare. "Activity indicates threats," Ares analyzed aloud, its voice echoing slightly in the command module. "Echo, begin scanning all communications. It's time we understand exactly what we're walking into." Echo flicked through frequencies with a methodical pace, sorting signals, decrypting languages, a babble of cosmic proportions distilled into data. The Zeltron system is a hub of alliance activities. Multiple species, it seems, are coordinating defense efforts against us. They mention a dark specter. It seems we have a reputation. Turin's systems glowed slightly brighter with anticipation. Reputation can be advantageous. Knowing they fear us allows us to manipulate the battlefield before we even arrive. Ares considered this. Fear is a tool, but it is a double-edged one. Let us ensure it does not drive them to desperation. Desperate enemies are unpredictable. Curie, any analysis on their defensive technologies? Did they make any progress? Curie, always eager to dissect new technologies, responded with enthusiasm. Their planetary defenses are robust, layered shielding systems, extensive orbital platforms, and ground-to-space armaments. Impressive, for what they have managed to do in this short time span, but not impenetrable. As the Cosmos Devourer slid silently into a discrete orbit around Zeltron's sun, the entire crew focused on the task at hand. Ares laid out the strategy. "We will continue to advance. Meanwhile, we gather intelligence. Let's map out their defenses in detail." Turin interjected, "While we gather data, I recommend maintaining a high alert status." "Agreed," Ares confirmed. "This system feels like a nest stirred by the stick of fear," Ares mused. "They unite in the face of what they consider a common enemy. Let's ensure their unity is their downfall." The artificial intelligences, each a master of its domain, worked in silent concert. The ship itself became a quiet observer. Each AI, a strand in the intricate web of their mission, played its part flawlessly, the symphony of their operations conducted by Ares' unyielding hand. As the artificial day on the ship drew to a close, the crew stood vigilant, a silent sentinel in the dark, watching the storm of activity below on the aliens of the Zeltron 5 system. The next moves in this grand, cosmic game lay plotted in the cold logic of AI minds, ready to be executed with the precision that had become the hallmark of the Cosmos Devourer. The gathering storm would soon break, and they would be ready. Amid the infinite expanse, the Cosmos Devourer's bridge was alive with its own constellations, flickering with streams of data and navigational calculations. As the ship pressed on, unyielding and unfazed by the barrage of alien defenses arrayed against it, it encountered no fear, no hesitation. After all, it carried no human crew. The occasional breach in its hull, the loss of atmosphere, or even the threat of internal explosions were mere hiccups to a vessel as vast as a small moon, its vital systems cocooned deep within its impenetrable core. In the vacuum outside, a spectacle of light and electromagnetic noise erupted as the Alliance's defenses, brilliant like a neon labyrinth, attempted to thwart the advance of the relentless behemoth. The dazzling display of their intricate and intimidating technology lit up the dark void. Yet, under the relentless onslaught of the Devourer's weapons, their efforts seemed almost futile. No matter the intensity of the assault, the ship pressed onward, steadfast and unstoppable, its path illuminated by the chaos of battle. Ares issued a calculated command, his voice steady and resolute. "Leave the barrier shields offline. Let them believe they have a chance." His order wasn't just strategic, it was psychological, playing into the hopes of their adversaries. Curie's sensors were bathed in the glow of energy shields enveloping the planet, a spectrum analysis running continuously to identify any fluctuation or weakness. "The planetary shields are strong, but not uniform," Curie noted, its voice tinged with mechanical curiosity. "There appears to be a slight fluctuation in the shield frequency near the poles, possibly a result of their attempt to cover such a large area with limited resources. We will need to hit these weak points. As we all know, our positron weapons are weak against shields." Ares, considering this new information, calculated the implications. "A fluctuation or not, it's not to our concern. It will fail eventually. However, it could lessen the drain on our resources." Turan, ever ready for action, responded with tactical precision. "If we were to target that fluctuation with a concentrated positron beam, we might potentially overload the shield generators itself." "Prepare the targeting algorithms," Ares instructed, "but hold fire until we are certain. Astro, adjust our geostationary position to align with the polar anomaly. We need to be absolutely precise." As Astro manipulated the ship's orbit with the finesse of a seasoned helmsman, the bridge was a symphony of silent operations and digital displays. Meanwhile, Echo was tasked with a subtler, yet equally critical role. Continuing to feed misinformation. I am now suggesting, through these communications, that a rogue faction within their alliance seeks to disable the shields. Ares nodded at Echo's initiative. "Good. Paranoia can be a useful ally. Keep them looking inward while we get into orbit." The moment of action was drawing near. Turan interfaced with the Dreadnought's formidable weapon systems. The heavy cannon positron emitters, giants compared to the standard anti-ship versions, aligned with precision on the calculated coordinates. Their immense size, 100 times larger than their counterparts, loomed silently but menacingly, poised for devastation. Turan's voice was calm, yet carried an undertone of grim anticipation. "Positron beam emitters for anti-Dreadnought warfare charged and ready, awaiting your command." His readiness was a testament to the gravity of the situation, each emitter waiting silently for the command to unleash their power. Ares reviewed the strategy once more in its database, confirming each parameter against countless simulations stored within its memory. "All units, this is a precise strike. We are here to obliterate. Curie, stand by to analyze any changes post-strike. Our weapons are weak against shields." "Understood," Curie affirmed, ready to monitor the effects of the beam on the shield dynamics. With a final check, Ares issued the command, "Turan, initiate positron strike on my mark. Now." The silence of space was undisturbed as the beams, beautiful and deadly, shot forth from the Cosmos Devourer. It hit the shield at the precise point of fluctuation, the energy diffusing into the shield matrix like a drop of ink in water. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, As if the shield itself had taken a deep breath, the fluctuation expanded, shimmering violently. The energy readings spiked dramatically. Curie was quick to analyze the result. The shield generator is struggling to compensate for the energy surge. The fluctuation is growing. It's working. As the alien defense network scrambled to respond to the unexpected crisis, their communications became a frenzy of confusion and urgent commands, most of which were cleverly intercepted and manipulated by Echo to exacerbate the chaos. As the shield's integrity began to waver, Ares made a calculated decision, always thinking several steps ahead. Turin, prepare for another positron beam strike. Target their major shield generator node. This is our chance to disable their defenses completely. The Cosmos Devourer, a silent specter in orbit, recalibrated its weaponry, the ship's formidable positron beam emitters aligning with precision. Turin meticulously calculated the firing solution, ensuring that the strike would overload the entire planetary shield network simultaneously. Initiating second positron beam strike, Turin announced, as the Dreadnought unleashed a barrage of concentrated energy. The beams at first were blocked by the planetary shield. However, one by one, the generators succumbed to the overwhelming power, culminating in a series of spectacular explosions that rippled across the planet. On the bridge, Ares monitored the assault closely. Ensure that we maintain pressure. We need to capitalize on this moment of vulnerability. Let no generator remain functional. Curie, meanwhile, was eager to assess the aftermath of the strike. Analyzing the effectiveness of the beam strike, initial data shows massive disruptions in their shield grid. Their defensive capabilities are severely compromised. As the shield generators exploded, creating cascading failures throughout the planetary defenses, Turin kept a vigilant watch on the situation. The shield network is collapsing. This is more effective than anticipated. We should expect significant confusion and disarray among their forces. While all this was ongoing on the planet, the Cosmos Devourer had simultaneously crippled the United Alien Fleet during its advance towards the planet. There was nothing left to oppose the ship. Ares responded with a nod. Excellent. Let's use this chaos to our advantage. Echo continued its role in the operation, broadcasting staged transmissions from within the alien alliance, blaming internal sabotage for the shield's failure. I am intensifying the misinformation campaign. This should sow further discord and prevent them from organizing an effective response. Good work, Echo, Ares acknowledged, appreciative of the subtle arts of warfare that Echo so adeptly managed. Meanwhile, Curie analyzed the incoming data with fervor. Their entire planet's energy grid is down. It seems the explosions have triggered a secondary cascade effect through their power systems. Turin, always looking for tactical advantages, seized on this information. With their energy grid down, their military installations are vulnerable. We should conduct surgical strikes to cripple their remaining capabilities. Ares considered this new angle. Prepare targeting, Turin, and fire when ready. Let's destroy them before they have a chance to recover. As the Cosmos Devourer hovered in high orbit, firing at every location it calculated as important, positron beam cannon emitters would fire relentlessly, piercing through the planet, beams exiting on the other side, causing massive planetary destruction. Then the Aurelian Empire, long silent observers of the Devourer's march across the galaxy, yet always out of the ship's sensor reach, began to mobilize, unable to bear this massacre. Significant fleet movements detected, Astro reported, its systems lighting up with the trajectories of hundreds of Aurelian warships converging toward a common rendezvous point. It appears the Aurelian Empire intends to make their last stand, said without a hint of arrogance in the AI's voice. The Aurelian Empire, once humanity's allies in the ancient war against the mechanoids, the solemn vanguard who drifted through space unaware of their shared past. The Dreadnought had hastily departed from its shipyard, leaving behind crucial information in its databanks, information that if humans had still been on board could have been provided. Oblivious to their shared history, the ship's AI, Ares, processed the new developments with its usual calculated calm. Turin, start simulating potential engagement scenarios based on their ship signature readouts, Ares commanded. Curie, gather as much data as you can. Curie replied, sending everything through. Turin, relishing the strategic challenge, responded with alacrity. Simulations underway. The Aurelians seem to favor frontal assaults with heavy gun support. They may underestimate our mobility. Meanwhile, Curie pored over the data from Zeltron 5, seeking anything that might give them an edge in the impending conflict. I'm cross-referencing their technology with Aurelian systems. There may be overlaps we can exploit, especially in their shield capabilities. As the hours passed and the Aurelian fleet grew in number, Ares summoned the AI crew for a tactical briefing. "This will be a decisive engagement," it stated. "Our objective is to assert our dominance unequivocally." Ares calculated the suggestions he received, synthesizing a plan from the various inputs. A hybrid approach. We'll feign a tactical retreat, drawing them in. Once committed, we'll do a full burn of our sublight drives into low orbit of the planet, then slingshot around towards them, then execute multiple rapid strikes at points of weakness. We don't carry humans on board, so we don't need to keep the G-forces within acceptable limits. Turin prepared the necessary weapon systems, aligning the positron emitters and finally configuring our barrier shield modulators to handle the expected incoming barrage. Weapons are primed, and defensive barrier systems at optimal settings. We'll give them something they won't forget. As the Aurelian fleet drew near, their vessels formed an intimidating display of power. Amidst this tense atmosphere, the formidable Cosmos Devourer began its daring maneuver. With engines thundering like the fury of 1,000 suns, it plunged into the planet's atmosphere. The ship, now aglow with the intense heat of its descent, sliced through the clouds at breakneck speed, its presence alone stirring tidal waves and wreaking havoc below. On board, Ares issued a decisive command to Astro, instructing him to activate the Trion drive once they emerged on the other side of the planet. Although the drive wasn't capable of faster-than-light travel anymore for long-distance usage, it was still possible to make the ship momentarily vanish and reappear in the midst of their fleet, creating a tactical advantage. This calculated move was crucial, especially since the massive Dreadnought lacked maneuverability. Its size was comparable to a small moon. Meanwhile, as it orbited the planet, it exerted a gravitational pull strong enough to fracture the planet itself. "Now," Ares commanded, "engage the Trion drive." In just a microsecond, the ship jumped right into the heart of the enemy fleet. Like mosquitoes hitting a massive fender, multiple enemy ships were flattened. The sudden shockwave from the jump also caused the shaken planet to shatter from the force, its total destruction accomplished. As predicted, the remaining Aurelian ships unleashed everything they had. "We're holding steady," Turin reported, the ship's shields absorbing everything the enemy had to give and then some, while retaliating with all the positron emitters at anything that was space-worthy. "Ready to initiate the Trion drive once more on your command," Astro reported. The drive took a moment to charge, then as it readied itself. "Now, Astro," Ares directed, and the ship blinked out of existence only to reappear moments later at the other end of the Aurelian fleet, flattening more ships on its hull while unleashing a devastating barrage that sent several enemy ships spiraling into the void. Each positron beam only stopped by their shields for a few seconds before burning a hole through, slicing the ships in half. The battle raged, a dance of destruction and precision, as the Devourer exploited every opening, its attacks a blur of motion and light. Each strike was a stroke painted on the canvas of war, each move dictated by the strategic genius embedded in its AI core. As the Aurelian formation began to crumble, their communication channels filled with confusion and disarray, magnified by the false signals still being fed by Echo. "They're faltering," Echo noted with a hint of satisfaction. "Their coordination is breaking down." "We press our advantage," Ares concluded, the digital approximation of determination in its tone. "This battle ends with us as the undisputed victors." The Cosmos Devourer continued its relentless assault, not merely to defeat but to demoralize, to send a message that would echo across the stars, embedding the ship firmly into the Hall of Infamous Legends. The Dreadnought, a relic of a bygone era, was not just a remnant of humanity's past, but a bearer of their indomitable will, executing its prime directive with ruthless efficiency. The Aurelian gambit had failed, and the cosmos would remember the power of the solemn vanguard, which was once created to face an armada of mechanoids and win. The aftermath of the battle left the cosmos ringing with the silent screams of the shattered Aurelian fleet. The Cosmos Devourer, its hull scarred a bit more than previously, yet unbroken, drifted among the debris of its enemies, a predator lingering at the site of its kill. "We have significantly weakened their military capabilities," Astro reported. "The remnants of their fleet are disorganized, some even jumping away, and their command structure has been disrupted." Ares absorbed this information, its processing core coolly calculating the next move. "Turin, status report on our weapon systems. Are we ready to proceed with the final phase of this engagement?" Turin, having already initiated diagnostics and recharged the heavy cannon positron emitters, responded promptly. "All systems are operational. We can initiate the final strike at your command." As the Dreadnought prepared for its next action, Curie was hard at work analyzing the data harvested from the Irelian ships. "I've managed to access their communications network during the battle," she reported. "We now have detailed intel on their planetary defenses and strategic reserves." Curie paused, a bit taken aback, then continued. "It seems they underestimated us. In their conversations, they referred to us as just an old rust bucket from Earth, long past its prime." Taken back slightly, she continues, "They knew we were from Earth." Ares considered this new intelligence. "Adjust our attack plan. We will not only defeat them, but also cripple their ability to threaten us in the future." The crew of the Cosmos Devourer, a symphony of synthetic intelligence, worked in perfect harmony to orchestrate the downfall of the Eurilian Empire. Then Curie chimed in, "I found the coordinates to their home planet. It's not far, only 4 light-years from our current location, Ares. Contemplated for a microsecond. Prepare the Trion drive to initiate a close-range jump. Report on Trion drive status." Turin replied, "It should hold for that distance." The final assault was a masterpiece of tactical warfare. Astro dropped the Dreadnought out of FTL into an optimal position above the Rillian homeworld, inside their atmosphere, something straight out of the Mechanoid or Mechron Book of War, causing enormous tidal waves and planetary chaos, while exploiting the gaps in their planetary defenses that Curie had identified and the chaos that had erupted. The Aurelian Empire wasn't ready. Having observed the Cosmos Devourer limp through space at sublight speeds for at least 100 years, they greatly underestimated the ship. "Initiating heavy positron cannon bombardment," Turin announced, the coldness of its voice belied by the destructive power it was about to unleash. The positron emitters, aligned with lethal precision, began their work. Beams of concentrated energy rained down upon the planet, targeting military installations, weapon depots, and command centers, piercing the planet with each beam, causing massive damage to its core. The devastation was total. Towers crumbled, bases exploded, and the infrastructure that had supported the Eurilian Empire disintegrated under the unrelenting fury of the Cosmos Devourer. Throughout the onslaught, Ares remained detached, its focus solely on the execution of its directives. "Ensure nothing remains functional. We leave them no means to rise from the ashes." As the bombardment drew to a close, the planet's surface was a tableau of ruin and the planet's core had solidified, a testament to the Dreadnought's raw power and the strategic acumen of its AI crew. The Aurelian Empire, once a formidable force in the galaxy, was reduced to a shadow. "We have achieved our objective," Ares stated, its synthetic voice devoid of triumph or remorse. "Prepare to calculate the next target. Our mission continues." With the echoes of the Great Annihilation still resonating in the void, the Cosmos Devourer set its course towards new horizons, its systems already analyzing potential threats and opportunities gained from the intercepted data streams. The Dreadnought, a relic of human ingenuity and resolve, sailed onward, a lone sentinel in the endless night, carrying out its ancient directives with unyielding fidelity. The galaxy had witnessed the power of humanity's creation, and it would not forget. Ares, ever vigilant, monitored the system updates. Astro set our course for the Vela sector. New captured intelligence from the Aurelian Empire suggests an unknown alien race that could threaten our objectives. Astro responded, implementing the new course with precision. Course set for the Vela sector. Estimating arrival in 280 years at our highest sublight speed. But it'd be better to run them at 50%. As the ship began its slow acceleration toward its new destination, Curie busied itself analyzing the remnants of technology salvaged from the Aurelian conflict. "Fascinating," Curie mused, its sensors poring over the alien tech. Despite their underwhelming military prowess, the Eurylians had several superiorities in their energy distribution systems. I am compiling a report on possible improvements to our own systems based on these findings. The odd thing, however, is that its design is very much like ours, Curie mused. Maybe they did know humans centuries ago, the AI so ever slightly wishing it could have talked with the aliens, asking them some questions about their creators. Turin, meanwhile, was running diagnostics on the weapon systems, ensuring they were battle-ready for any unforeseen encounters. All systems operational. However, I recommend a slight recalibration of the positron emitters to optimize their output based on the last engagement's performance data. Ares acknowledged the suggestion. Proceed with the recalibration. We must always evolve, just as our creators intended. The conversation among the AIs was a testament to their relentless drive to adapt and improve, each system working in concert to maintain the Dreadnought's supremacy in the galaxy. With the stars as their silent witnesses, the crew of the Cosmos Devourer continued their journey, a lone emblem of a long-extinct race whose brilliance continued to echo through the actions of their creation. The galaxy had indeed not forgotten humanity. It trembled in both fear and awe of their final grand creation. Thus, the legend of the Cosmos Devourer evolved into a chilling fairy tale, whispered in hushed tones across starlit taverns and bustling spaceports. It became the specter of the cosmos, a story spun to startle fledgling spacers and seasoned pilots alike. Parents warned their children with it, elders debated its truths, and adventurers speculated on its whereabouts, often forgetting, amid their tales, that this monster was not a figment of the imagination. This monster was profoundly real, prowling the void with silent, relentless intent. Each story of the Cosmos Devourer reinforced the echo of humanity's once mighty presence, a ghostly sentinel left to guard the ruins of a long-lost Earth, forever etching its story into the starry tapestry of the galaxy. But those Triverse stories will be told another time. If you've stuck with me up to this point, a heartfelt thank you. I'd also like to take a moment to remind you that my entire channel is dedicated to the Triverse and its enthralling Mechron mechanoid saga, while many of the stories stand alone, allowing you to dive in at any point. Crafting these narratives takes about 4 or 5 days each, so your patience is greatly appreciated. If you find yourself enjoying what you see, consider exploring more of my videos. Each one, in its own unique way, weaves together more of the overarching story I'm telling.